done well. It's a great colour palette, quite simple. It's quite a simple design. It sits in a row of old cottages, and the others are quite traditional working cottages, and this one stands out as something different.
We've gathered a team from New South Wales property building design industry count down the Institute of Architects to count down the state's top 10 architectural statements of the year. Queensland's government architect by New South Wales government architect and Lily Atkin from Hardy Design of Mackenzie Prompt Architects.
Some of the things that have been said about certain projects, things that, as somebody who's experienced some of those projects, hasn't even thought about from somebody else's point of view.
What was remarkable about the process, I think, is that there was a lot of similarity in the concepts that the jury were able to reach despite the
it loves it with blockbuster. Everywhere we go, we see competing with the scale of that. We all want to live in a harbour and the spectacle of
so much of Queensland is in that sweet spot.
Been able to bring that phrase to that.
We're seeing it
as somebody's experienced some of those projects that hasn't even thought about from somebody else's
Sasha Coles from Aspect Studios. Project number 10 in Townsville by the Either Antonio Perry of Grace Stone and Tile. There is
it loves it with blockbuster. Everywhere we go, we see competing with the scale of that. We all want to live in a harbour. Giant skylight, and you've introduced a new material.
Yeah, we thought moving up into the bedrooms that we needed a warmer material palette, so we've got this recycled spotted gum. Black box Mark II, got the bathroom with another skylight, and then moving on through to the bedrooms, we wanted to keep everything really open plan, but of course sometimes you need that privacy, so this door pops out of the black box and closes it seamlessly.
Fantastic. No door frame, no door to get in the way. Again, you've stolen space.
That's it.
More than a century after we first saw the humble workers' cottage, the idea still works. So can we still live big lives on small sites? This project says we can. We might just need to turn our thinking inside out.
Number 7 was recognised as innovative thinking by Joe Royston from real estate agency RT Edgar.
Innovative thinking's been used here on a modest budget, and the project has come up absolutely fantastic.
This project has some common everyday challenges to overcome, but that's not the story. The interesting thing about this home is the creative and fun way in which those challenges have been met. Hey. Andrew, this is an unusually bright extension to a narrow period home.
The client was a single mother with a brand new baby, and her requirements were really, I need more light, I need a lot more storage, and I need to be able to control the sound. The owner was really lost in the fact that we only had a little bit of light coming in the front, a small backyard, and basically she had the lights on all day, every day.
That's just a horrible way to live, isn't it? And so many long terrace houses have that problem.
It just requires a bit of lateral thinking, doesn't it? This particular client, she was quite happy to have quite a modest-sized kitchen. We decided that what we would do is use the corridor space as a kitchen space, and that allowed us to get the light well and actually enlarge it.
Andrew, this stair's made of a very interesting material.
Yeah, this is perforated metal, and we use this for two main reasons. Number one, to share lots of light between the two spaces, but also for sound, so people actually talk to each other. The idea is instead of having young kids and they're always screaming down for a sandwich or a glass of milk down the stairs, they can actually talk through.
Great job.
It's like walking on a cloud.
And Andrew, this bar.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like a big yellow blob of fiberglass.
Well, that's exactly what it is. The builder actually made this. And Louis, this 5-year-old kid now can just splash water everywhere and it will all just hit the sides and scoop down into one place.
Andrew, you mentioned storage.
Yeah, well, this is only a 6 metre wide block. So the generic sort of solution is to just add a whole heap of storage onto one side. And if you've got kids, all you're ever doing is chucking it on the floor, pulling
Constantly.
it out. Yeah, and you've always got to pick it up and put it away. So what we decided to do was to actually make the floor the storage space. So we've got these little babies in here. Check that out. And then, so they're just full of, stuff, everyday stuff, and lots of toys. So, Louis is constantly picking up the toys instead of you picking them up. The great thing about storage in this way is that if the bell rings, the front door, and you suddenly have visitors, everything just falls back into the floor. You don't have to put it away. So we can quickly, throw it in here and then go jump on the couch, and the house that tidies itself.
Fantastic.
Come on in.
I really love this project. For me, it just gives me an instant taste of what the Melbourne culture is like and what Melbourne means to me.
When you design a new building in the middle of a city, a good architect will always reference its neighbours. And this one does just that. Its heavy structure with punched windows references and complements this streetscape. And that's important because any building should aspire to be around for a long time. But inside, it's not so much about a long time, it's more about a good time. Your title, Nick, Creative Director, it's very theatrical.
As a role of an interior designer, we're also involved in putting forward the DNA of the QT brand, and that is about theatre, it's about music, it's about fashion, it's about good food and drink, it's about socialising, it's about flirtation, and it's about providing a stage on which people can play in the city.
This artwork is beautiful.
It's a real feature, a real centre point for not only the staircase but for the hotel lobby.
So Nick, flirtation.
The wallpaper in the distance here, it looks like a traditional French toile, but when you get up close, there's actually a little bit of naughty action going on. In the bathrooms as well, we've taken some 19th century artworks and then worked them with the graphic designer. Even when you go in the lifts, there's sexy little voices that are saying salacious things as you're going up and down.
This whole floor, it recalls the Paris end of Collins Street?
Definitely, I'm glad you noticed, Jill. It has a catwalk which leads to the French patisserie, it has peekaboo moments watching the French chef make his creations. There's a beautiful wine table in the middle which is flowers, candles, the musical instruments. All of that is a bit of cage à folle and...
It's very La Belle Époque.
Absolutely, yes.
That's funny. I did hear that. This is a really different look.
The industrial elements of raw concrete, exposed surfaces, black metal, they are a bit of a reference back to what Shelley Indic architects did for us in the rooms. So they're industrial chic in the middle of the city.
This is a bit like one of Melbourne's secret spots.
It's a dirty little secret of the hotel to have this amazing space on top of the hotel.
It's really spectacular.
Thank you.
This is a place that is all about contrast. It's industrial, but highly decorative. Rough against smooth and raw against polished. And I think it works.
Our team of property, building and design industry leaders are counting down the top 10 architectural statements in Victoria for the year.
As a group, we're judging really a wide range of different buildings, and it's a really interesting process.
It is built on an old wharf, an old pier, so it had to be lightweight. They couldn't use traditional concrete and steel, so to speak. It wouldn't hold it.
This is a 21st century library. It's not just about the books, it's about how we live. It has a cafe, a performance space, and even a recording studio. It's not just a building, it's a place for people. It's the village square that Docklands really needed. Lindsay, one of the challenges of this building was the fact that it had to go onto an existing heritage wharf.
Yes, and the heritage wharf presented a big challenge because we had to design a building quite carefully that had a reduced weight. The weight of the timber was about 30%.
Built from timber, no, not out of concrete. And I understand it all came flat packed, like an IKEA set.
21 shipping containers from Austria arrived on site in sequence. 6 carpenters, 6 days to put the whole structure up.
Environmental concerns were a large part of the council's brief to the architect. And do you feel like that's been achieved?
We've exceeded our expectations with this building.
I love it when a client says that.
It's important for us to set a benchmark for the future. Take this space, for example, naturally ventilated space.
It feels beautifully fresh and clean, Ian. What happens when the weather goes bad?
The louvers automatically close.
Great. And what is the overall energy outcome?
It saves a substantial amount of energy, in the order of 50%.
Half the energy of a conventional building. That's a fantastic outcome. Lindsay, it's a lovely, wide, generous stair connecting the levels.
Well, amazingly, the whole stair was taken out of its container and placed on site within 1 hour.
Wow. And we can see the joints, we can see the thickness of the timber. It's got a lovely tactile, authentic feel.
Well, we really wanted people to understand how the building was made.
And from here, I can really get a strong sense of the timber structure of the building.
We know in high winds it even creaks like an old...
Fantastic. And expose the structure. This really is a public orbit.
Our team